It was one of those painfully ordinary days, the kind where nothing stands out and everything just blends into the background. The late afternoon sun was sinking low over downtown Chicago, spilling a warm amber glow across the streets. I had a few hours to kill between meetings, and instead of heading back to the office, I decided to carve out a quiet moment for myself. Coffee shops had always been my refuge. The hiss of the espresso machine, the clink of mugs, the soft hum of indie music. That low murmur of life always calmed me. I pushed open the door, the familiar chime echoing overhead. The cafe was bustling as always, but my eyes went straight to my usual spot by the window. That's when everything froze. There she was, Emily, my wife, bathed in golden light. Her hair tumbled over her shoulders in soft waves, catching the sunlight like threads of copper. Her green eyes sparkled with a kind of joy I hadn't seen in far too long. And then her laugh, God, that laugh, free, unrestrained, the same sound that once made me fall for her over and over. For a brief moment, it felt like the world had slowed. Then reality hit. She wasn't alone. Across from her sat a man I didn't recognize, tall in a sharp suit, hair perfectly combed, posture confident. He leaned in slightly as she spoke and she leaned toward him. Their eyes lingered on each other just a fraction too long. Their smiles carried a weight that twisted in my gut like a knife. I froze, telling myself I was imagining it, maybe overthinking, maybe it was innocent. But every instinct screamed otherwise. I started moving cautiously, weaving through the crowd as if invisible. Emily hadn't noticed me yet. I paused near the counter, torn between walking out and confronting the truth. Then it happened, she glanced up. Our eyes met. In that single heartbeat, everything shattered. Her smile vanished, the sparkle draining from her eyes, replaced by shock and panic. She broke the gaze almost immediately, pretending to refocus on him. But it was too late. I had seen enough. My chest tightened, each breath sharp and ragged. My heart pounded like the entire cafe could hear it. Was this real? Some cruel misunderstanding? A sick joke? I wanted to shout, demand answers right there in front of everyone. But my voice refused to come. It was trapped in my throat, swallowed by the clatter of cups and murmurs of strangers around me. The man across from her finally noticed me. His head turned, calm, far too calm for the storm raging in my chest. A polite, practiced smile tugged at his lips. He extended his hand. Hey there. I'm Mark, a colleague of Emily's from work. Mark. That single word cut into me, sharp and permanent, echoing in my mind like a curse I would replay for years. I swallowed hard and forced my legs to move. My hand reached for his, slick with sweat. I'm Ion, I managed, my voice trembling despite my best efforts. Nice to meet you. The handshake was brief but heavy with something unsaid. Mark's grip was firm, his eyes flashing with something I couldn't place. Arrogance? Pity? Triumph? Emily abruptly stood, her chair scraping the floor. Her face had drained of color, lips parting as if to speak, but no sound came. Guilt shadowed every feature. The silence stretched until she finally spoke. Ion. I didn't expect to see you here. The words cut deeper than a knife. She was sitting there, laughing with him, like I didn't even exist outside the frame of her double life. My chest sank, air left my lungs. She wasn't even trying to hide it, not anymore. I clenched my jaw, voice barely above a whisper. Is this why you've been so distant lately? Her eyes flickered, panic flashing before she dropped her gaze to the floor. She didn't answer. That silence told me everything. I turned, without another glance, without giving her a chance to explain. My body moved on instinct, legs heavy yet determined, carrying me away from the suffocating scene. I pushed through the cafe doors and the cold Chicago air slammed into me. For a moment I thought I might collapse right there on the sidewalk. The pain was unbearable, not just in my chest but everywhere. My world, the life I thought I had, unraveled in seconds. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. All I could do was move. By the time I reached my car, my hands were trembling so badly I could barely get the keys out of my pocket. I slid inside, slammed the door and let the silence swallow me whole. My pulse thundered in my ears as I gripped the steering wheel, mind racing. How long? How many times had she looked me in the eyes and lied? Working late, catching up with friends telling me not to wait up. Every memory twisted, tainted, poisoned. I had been living in a world she painted for me, an illusion of a marriage, a love I thought unshakable. I started the car and drove, no destination in mind, just away. Streetlights blurred past, tears stinging my eyes though I refused to let them fall. I didn't know where I was going until I ended up in the lot of our apartment building. For the first time in years I didn't want to go inside.